Good morning, colleagues, friends, and family members. Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you. A few years ago, while on a visit to see my aging mother, which unfortunately was to be the last time I saw my mama alive, I experienced something that was to shape my announcement of this morning. On my way from the airport to a friend's place, to avoid a heavy traffic ahead, the taxi driver made his way through an alleyway. We passed by a large refuse dump site brimming with flies and deadly stench. To my horror, I saw women, children, cats, and dogs scavenging for food and whatever they could lay hold of to support life. That such was possible in a country, our nation, endowed with huge natural and other resources, made me shed tears. The taxi driver, noticing how stressed I was, said to me, "Oga, you haven't seen anything yet. This country is hell for the average Nigerian. I wish help can come sooner rather than later." As we connect a main road, I saw a little girl struggling to remain balanced on her feet due to the weight of the merchandise she was hawking. The neck was bent, her worn-out slippers betrayed the mileage she had covered on her little feet, and her face displayed hunger and fear. I shouted, "Is this not someone's child, conceived over 9 months, the same way as kids in Ikoyi, Victoria Island, and the posh areas of Abuja, delivered through birth pains of a beloved mother, and then considered precious and a source of joy and hope to her parents?" I was not only saddened, shocked, but also ashamed of what the politicians had turned the black race into. I reached the conclusion that something must be done. That year, on my way to Singapore on business, I shared a row of first-class cabin seats with a gentleman who introduced himself as the chief executive of KLM. He said to me, "You must be a Nigerian." I replied, "You're right, sir. But what made you think so?" "I began my career with the aviation industry in Lagos, Nigeria," he said. "I believe you are destined to liberate your country," he stressed. He advised me to purchase and read a book written by Lee Kuan Yew, the founder of modern Singapore, captioned, "How to Build a Nation." Our conversation ended there. On touching down at the Singapore airport, I purchased the book and I have read it several times ever since. Interesting. This experience, or rather advice from the CEO of KLM, struck a chord with my experience in Moscow while on an European Union perestroika consultancy project and at the invitation of the Russian president. One afternoon, I was kidnapped by the Secret Service and interrogated for almost an hour. You see, I was the only African among experts on that mission. At the end of the interrogation, the chief of the Secret Service impressed on me the need to return to my country and employ my expertise in liberating the nation. In China, while on a consultancy mission on behalf of my institution, I had another experience. At the end of our mission in China, covering different cities, including Beijing, the head of the academic community in Guangzhou and his team entertained us in one of the top restaurants. Everything was perfect. The food, the wine, the Chinese music, the room ambience, but the waiter. She refused to serve me or touch any plate, spoon, or cup I had used because of my color. It did not matter that I was whining and dining with the Chinese top academics and representatives of the Chinese Communist Party. I was not worthy of her service or respect because of my race. She was humiliated and dismissed on the spot by the restaurant manager. Well, as you can imagine, the night was never the same after that incident. It transformed my view of life. I reached the conclusion that no matter how well read, how rich, how powerful, handsome, or beautiful, one's value in the mind of the world is conditioned by the value placed on one's race and country. So I promised myself and generations to come that I would transform the image of Nigeria and the black race, given the opportunity. That opportunity presented itself with the coming into power of the APC government, which by its style of governance succeeded in educating Nigerians on the importance of voting individual competencies rather than parties and zoning, and based on issues rather than tribe, ethnicity, or religious affiliation. The consequences of the 3-year reign of the APC-led administration are all too clear to see. You see, I'm not a fan of statistics on Nigeria, for many are out of date and grossly inaccurate. From national population to unemployment statistics. However, there are easily verifiable and observable indicators that reinforce calls for a new approach to our national politics, governance, political system, and leadership. If Nigeria is to remain united, peaceful, prosperous, and progressive. I'll give you some examples. The 2017 Global Competitiveness Rankings by the World Economic Forum scored Nigeria out of 137 countries as follows. Roads quality, 127th. Airport quality, 125th. Electricity supply, 132nd. Education system, 120th. Maths and science, 118th. Innovation, 112th. Life expectancy, 133rd. Security, 127th. Trust in politicians, 130th. That is telling and verifiable. You will agree. If these scores remain unchanged, what future awaits this and future generation? We must put a united front and act now. I have just returned from a working visit across our country. I was at local barber shops in Lagos, had lunch in a local motor park restaurant at Owerri, Imo State, met with a crowd of young people at the INEC head office at Ihazo local government, exchanged views with taxi drivers, listened to the anxieties of a single mother with 3 kids struggling to make ends meet. I purchased buns from an accounting graduate hawking street to street for survival. I saw distress, shame, anger, frustration written all over her face. Mistrust of government and politicians, fear of ballot rigging and the resulting reluctance over PVC registration, and uncertainty about their future were obvious. There were equally revealing encounters that pointed the direction of a troubled and abused nation, yearning for salvation. In Lagos, I saw road construction near completion. The finishing of the pavements and drainage systems appeared childish and lacked professionalism and quality standards. It was a verdict on the quality of our workforce, our education system, and the engineers it churns out yearly. It was an indictment of a flawed and corruption-infested contract award process haunting our nation. I traveled on an executive class bus service to Imo State. To my surprise, the company official policy permits passengers to wee-wee on board, but prohibits them from poo-poo, though the executive bus is equipped with a fully functioning onboard lavatory. Despite this inhuman and illegal condition, Nigerians pay a premium fare for such service. At every turn in our country, Nigerians are abused, extorted, and denied justice. It will stop. At police roadblocks, I watched as police officers not only collect bribes, but also name their price and openly give change to drivers as though trading in commodities. On a flight to Lagos from Abuja, extortion was obvious at the baggage screening points. A female security operator, so eager to seize a bottle of Gillette shaving product in my hand luggage, abandoned her machine to chase after my bag. In the process, my friend's bag with a bottle of water and other liquid substance passed unquestioned. Once she noticed 2 coat hangers holding my suit, she claimed they were prohibited and confiscated them. Yet those coat hangers had traveled across several international airports, including UK, United Arab Emirates, France, Ethiopia, South Africa, China, and the Netherlands on international flights. It begs the question, how safe are passengers in the hands of these extortionists in security uniforms? On board the aging aircraft to Lagos, I derived great pleasure and satisfaction from the Nigerian pilot, whom I considered the best in the world based on his skills in handling the aircraft, as well as nervous passengers. Nigerians are good at what they do when well trained and given the opportunity to perform. They are performing miracles across the world, contributing to the progress and economic stability of nations, from UK to the United States. You see, in the end, I reached the conclusion that there is hope for Nigeria, but a lot of hard work is required. So today, after months of patiently observing the political scenes and dramas in our country, I present myself for scrutiny and to contest and assume the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come 2019. I am contesting not because I am older or younger than President Macron of France, 39, Sebastian Kurz of Austria, 31, the newly elected Mahathir bin Mohamad of Malaysia, 92, and Donald Trump of USA, 72. You see, these world leaders were elected by a sophisticated electorate, not for their youthful look, but a track record of national and international service at high levels, outstanding and verifiable achievements, and history of consistent performance, international exposure, integrity, leadership qualities, and vision for their country and peoples. Now, if these attributes are good for the people of France, Austria, Malaysia, United States, and many other progressive countries, they are equally essential for the leadership of the largest democracy and most powerful country in Africa, our homeland, Nigeria. I am therefore running based on my possession of the attributes that have delivered peace, prosperity, equity, and justice for all in stable and progressive, developed and developing nations across the world. I am running because Nigeria presents a great opportunity to make it big in the history books. You see, for over 50 years, and after the record set by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Alhaji Sir Ahmadu Bello, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, and Alhaji Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Nigeria has remained dry of nationalists and political trailblazers. I am hungry to make it into the history books as the father of a new, united, and prosperous Nigerian nation. A significant part of politicking is played at the world stage of diplomacy, negotiations, and agreements. I am running because a Nigerian president must have the capacity to productively discuss and negotiate with the leaders of powerful economies who, by their education, culture, and training, are firmly committed to the interest of their nation. Speak fast, reason fast, come to the table well prepared based on the best intelligence available, and surrounded by a team of experts. So you can see why most African leaders return from such summits empty-handed and only with photo opportunities and handshake. I am ready and equipped to make Nigeria and Africa proud at every opportunity, locally and international. I am running because the black race has lagged behind for far too long due to poor, visionless, and incompetent leadership. We must liberate Nigeria as a source of pride and hope for the black race. As President Mandela puts it, the world will not respect Africa until Nigeria earns their respect. I will deliver respect for the black race and uplift the status of future generations. That is my promise. I am running because this nation can no longer liberate itself from within, under the leadership of the recycling politicians who have offered this nation nothing but corruption, greed, poverty, and death. Our country needs experienced and capable citizens based in foreign lands to intervene and halt the slide to total anarchy. I am running because my hands are clean, my conscience clear. I am not a cultist nor a ritualist. I have no political godfather and owe allegiance only to God himself. The grace of God follows me wherever I go. I am not a product of the Nigerian corrupt system. Therefore, I am the best equipped to hunt down corruption, destroy the barbarism of ritual killings, kidnapping, armed robbery, and terrorism, and set our nation free. I am running because the current administration has given its best. However, their best is not good enough for our nation, not good enough for our economy, not good enough for our pensioners, not good enough for our youths, not good enough for our health, not good enough for our security, not good enough for our image abroad, and not good enough for our future. Under my administration, our future is bright, you see. So here I am, academically and professionally qualified, experienced, internationally exposed, with verifiable track record of accomplishments, and determined to reform and advance this nation to its rightful place in the community of progressive and peaceful nations. I am a double graduate of the University of Wales, Cardiff Business School, United Kingdom, with MBA in finance and PhD in budgetary control systems. I'm a chartered and experienced management accountant and a senior academic at the Newcastle Business School in United Kingdom. I have been actively involved in consultancy and collaborative venture projects in Russia, Ukraine, China, Singapore, Greece, South Africa, and other places. I am one of the principal architects of the most successful postgraduate program in our university and received several awards for excellence in program management and delivery. I have taught and graduated thousands of students of all races and religious persuasion across the world at undergraduate, master's, and doctoral levels. Now, my over 20 years experience in higher education across the world led me to the conclusion that Africans are not inferior to any other race. God created Africans, Asians, white, and every other race equal. Our major problem as black people, as Africans, is leadership. I am in this race to prove the capabilities and ingenuity of the black race. Please join me. Today, I declare my candidacy for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My administration will be transparent, professional, inclusive, and will tap the skills and professionalism of Nigerians in diaspora and international experts. Security, the economy, education, and health will be given priority. The Nigerian civil service sector, the engine of our national security and progress, will be updated to world standards, thus incorporating the principles of value for money to the taxpayer and total quality management. This is aimed at delivering the following clearly mapped out national vision. Nigeria must rank among the best countries to live, work, and invest in, visit, get world-class education and health care within the next 15 to 20 years. It will be done. My administration will end the politics of hate, selective justice and exclusion, deliberate concentration of power and economic development to privileged regions and cities, and sponsor terrorism against our indigenous peoples. They will be replaced by inclusive governance, lean government, ethical and competent leadership, balanced distribution of national wealth and economic development initiatives, Iron Dome zonal security policies, clearly defined vision, 10 to 20-year development plan, liberty, equity, and justice for everyone in our country. We will do ordinary things extraordinarily well for our nation and peoples. For over 20 years, the people of Europe, Asia, and America trusted me with the education of their children, training of their managers, and representing their institutions internationally, though a foreigner of African origin. You, my homeland, my people, too, can trust me. And trust me with a mandate to transform our nation with the expertise, professionalism, and ethical leadership skills acquired while serving the advanced nations. I will deliver security, prosperity, and all the amenities of modern statehood across our federation. Oversee the restructure of our country for local and global competitiveness within 2 years. Embrace modernization and democracy, but without sacrificing our national identity, cultures, values, our heritage, and our roots. On behalf of our country, I will build a network of friendship with world leaders on equal terms and for mutual benefits, and collaborate with multinationals and reputable international bodies on our own terms. I will open our country to an inflow of foreign investments and experts from across the world for rapid development and delivery of our national vision. We will invest in high-speed internet broadband, build superhighways and rail networks that link our nation, and facilitate trade, research, commerce, and tourism. We will invest in solar and conventional power generation technologies to power our industries and guarantee home comfort. Deadlines will be set and met. We will invest in modern agriculture technologies and practices for food security, job creation, diversification of our economy, and export earnings. We will establish world-class universities, hospitals, and ultra-modern airports to establish our country as the best destination for health tourism and world-class education in Africa, and the air travel gateway to the heart of our continent, Africa. While we invest heavily in the prosperity and stability of our nation, Nigeria will remain benevolent and peaceful with our neighboring states, while building a formidable and disciplined armed forces worthy of international recognition and respect. Our borders and national security will be robustly protected and defended. Our neighboring countries will take note. When all these have been achieved, which I must and will, all I ask from you, my people, the Nigerian people, is to be crowned the father of our new nation. That's why I'm in this race. God bless a restructured, united, and progressive Federal Republic of Nigeria. And God bless you, my fellow citizen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.